Most of us probably think of a sauna as a luxury, right? Something you do to relax after a really tough workout. But what if it's way more than that? What if this ancient tradition, just sitting in a hot room, is actually a powerhouse tool for your health, and it's backed by some seriously surprising science? Let's get into it.
I mean, it sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Can just sitting in a hot room really help you live longer? That's the big question we're going to tackle today, and I think the answers might actually change how you think about heat.
All right, so let's talk recovery. For anyone out there who takes their fitness seriously, whether you're a gym rat, training for a 5K, or just trying to stay active, you know recovery is everything. And it turns out we might have been overlooking one of the most effective tools in the playbook.
And look, we're not just talking about soothing your sore muscles here. The science is pointing to some real, measurable benefits that can boost your performance, seriously speed up your recovery, and yeah, maybe even add some healthy years to your life. So it's about shifting our mindset, seeing the sauna less as a treat and more as a legit part of your training toolkit.
Okay, so where's the proof, right? Well, a lot of it comes from this landmark study out of Finland, which, makes sense. Saunas are a huge part of the culture there. And this one study, this is the one that really provides the core evidence that got scientists all over the world to sit up and take heat therapy very, very seriously.
And just to give you a sense of the scale here, we're talking about researchers tracking more than 2,000 men for 2 decades. That's a massive undertaking. They looked at everything you can imagine, diet, exercise, lifestyle habits, all to try and figure out what really contributes to heart health and a long life.
And this is where it gets really mind-blowing. The results they found were just stunning. The data showed this super clear dose-response relationship. So hitting the sauna 2 to 3 times a week, that was linked to a 24% lower risk of dying from any cause. But get this, for the guys who used it 4 to 7 times a week, that risk plummeted by an incredible 40%.
And this wasn't some tiny statistical blip, This was a powerful, significant correlation. It strongly suggests that the more often you use the sauna, the bigger the potential benefit. This finding is what really put sauna bathing on the map as a serious topic for longevity research. It was a game changer.
Okay, so we know what the study found. That's amazing. But that naturally leads to the next big question. How in the world does it work? What is actually happening inside our bodies when we're just sitting there in all that intense, dry heat?
Well, here's what's so cool. A sauna session basically tricks your body into thinking it's doing a moderate cardio workout. Look at the comparison. The effects are strikingly similar. Your heart rate shoots up to between 120 and 150 beats per minute, your blood vessels open wide, your circulation revs up. It's what scientists call passive cardio. You're getting your cardiovascular system a solid workout without even moving a muscle. Pretty neat, right?
But wait, the story gets even more fascinating when we zoom way, way in, down to the microscopic level. That heat from the sauna, it actually triggers the activation of this specialized repair crew inside your very own cells.
They're called heat shock proteins, or HSPs for short, and you can think of them as your cell's own little emergency response team. When your body gets exposed to a stressor, like intense heat, it's like an alarm goes off, and your body starts pumping out these proteins to protect itself from damage. So what do these little guys actually do? Well, their job description is pretty impressive. They're like molecular chaperones, making sure new proteins are built correctly. They protect your cells from damage, they help repair busted DNA, they keep inflammation in check, and, this is a big one, they help clear out all the gunk, the damaged proteins that pile up as we get older. Basically, they're absolutely crucial for keeping our cells resilient and in good repair.
Okay, so the benefits sound amazing, right? But like any powerful tool, you've got to know how to use it safely. So let's get practical and talk about the benefits, the risks, and the absolute rules of the sauna. So on one hand, research points to a whole range of potential benefits, from maybe helping to lower blood pressure to easing things like asthma and joint pain. But on the other hand, and this is really important, it's not for everybody. If you have specific heart conditions like unstable angina, or if you've had a recent heart attack or severe aortic stenosis, you should definitely steer clear. And of course, common sense rules here. If you're pregnant or have any health concerns at all, talk to your doctor first. Always.
Now, listen up. If you remember only one single thing from this whole explainer, make it this. Never ever mix sauna use with alcohol. I can't stress this enough. Alcohol dramatically increases your risk of a sudden drop in blood pressure, arrhythmia, and even sudden death. It is the absolute #1 non-negotiable rule of sauna safety. Please, just don't do it.
So, how do you do it right? It's actually pretty simple. First up, get the all clear from a doctor if you have any pre-existing health issues. No exceptions. Second, hydration is your best friend. Drink plenty of water before you go in and after you get out. This is key. And finally, and maybe most importantly, listen to your body. There's no prize for toughing it out the longest. A good session is usually somewhere between 5 and 20 minutes. That's all you need to start reaping those benefits. So let's bring it all home. The evidence really seems to suggest that for most healthy people, the sauna is a seriously powerful and accessible tool. It's a way to supercharge your recovery, give your cardiovascular system some love, and fire up your body's own deep-seated repair mechanisms. So yeah, next time you finish a workout, maybe think about hitting the sauna. Your heart, and for sure your muscles, might just thank you for it.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. We've gone from an ancient Finnish tradition to the cutting edge of longevity science. And it turns out the simple act of heating your body is way more powerful than we ever could have imagined. So the only question left is this ancient tradition about to become the future of your wellness routine?